Sean Tell here, my man Radio Raheem, and the former WBC super lightweight champion of the world, Regis Prograis, fighting in Tottenham against Conor Benn this weekend. Huge Netflix show, big Netflix co-main event on the Tyson Fury Arslanbek Makhmudov show. Man, Regis, thanks for joining us, man, on this another episode of About That Action. But I'm gonna hand
No
it over
problem.
to Raheem to get this thing started properly. Go ahead, Raheem.
Got it.
Well, first of all, we have very few people as guests on About That Action. We are very choosy and selective about who we talk to because you actually have to be about that action to be on About
Right,
That Action. And
right, right,
boy, do
right.
you fit that criteria. I mean, I've heard you already speak about how this fight came across and how you got this opportunity. And the old adage, my mother used to tell me, I'm sure you've heard it from the elders as well. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. And
Right,
that
exactly.
opportunity came across for you. You and I go back to New Orleans. And I'll be honest, when I first got to that gym, it was a trainer outside. I was like, man, you got to come in and see this talent inside the
Yeah.
gym here. And I was there with like Chappelle on some party shit.
Uh-huh.
And I popped in the gym. That's where I first was introduced to Regis. I had no idea what his future would be until I saw him training. I was like, well, there's definitely a future here. And we're
Right,
going to see
right.
where that's going to lead us. And so many years later, here we are. It's a pleasure. But yeah,
Thank you.
I guess the first thing is, how did this fight find you? And how did you know on a stage like this with a guy like Conor Benn, who was on something of a roll, that you were ready to be about that action?
I mean, they just honestly, man. One of my friends just called me, and they said your name is in the hat for Conor Ben, and really the first one, the main name. You know, they had a few other people, but the main name was for me for Conor Ben. So I was like, yeah, I like that. I definitely like the opportunity. I definitely like the fight. I like all that type of stuff. So, um, yeah, after that, I told my manager about it, and we just we talked about it. And so after we talked about it, and it was they asked I asked about the weight and stuff like that, of course, because kind of I fought at 140 my whole career, kind of fought his last two fights at 160, so there's a big jump. So I said, what's the weight gonna be? They said 150. So I said, yeah, what about 147? I'm gonna go up because I did plan to go to 147 anyway, but I did want to do it gradually. I wanted to kind of go to 45, then maybe 47. So then, and then I said, then they rejected. They said no, it's at 150. I said, all right, cool. That's cool. What about a rehydration clause? Because I know he did it to Chris Eubank, and they came back and said no. And this was all the same day. They said no rehydration clause. I said, all right, fine. Said, well, let me sit and think about it. So then. I let a few hours go by. So then I hit my manager up the next day. I said, "What's going on? What is looking like with everything with the negotiations?" And he said, "Nah, I'm thinking they probably gonna pass on you." And I said, "Man, get the fight. Just secure it. Please secure it. Like, secure this fight. Cause I really believe I know I can be kind of Ben. So I don't want to take nothing away from him. But the weight for me, I think the weight shouldn't matter. I just feel like I can beat him. And then I'm going up. The thing is, I'm going up and he's coming down. So historically, usually it happens better for the person that's going up. The person that's going up doesn't have to cut weight. They can be stronger. And he hasn't made he's been at 160 his last two fights. So that might be a year and a half, that he was up there. So it might, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna benefit him coming down or if it's gonna help him. I don't know. But I think that I do feel like it'll benefit me coming up and being stronger.
Now, the stipulations that you asked for that they denied all make sense based on the weight and the fights that Conor Benn has been in most recently.
Hmm.
However, setting the stage for a fight like this, giving you no advantages or even trying to level the playing field, they denied everything. They're calling you 6 weeks out with barely just enough time to put a camp together and train for it. With all due respect, you're not exactly on a roll. It's not like you're right now actively on a winning streak and fighting.
Hmm.
And it begs the question, what do you think is on their minds? Because the other big part of the news is Conor Benn getting $15 million dollars for this fight. Why do you think they chose you? And again, full respect, but
Hmm.
everybody, including myself, is saying, well, this just ain't a $15 million fight. So
Right.
what is the promoter thinking, and why do you think that they put you in this position? I would say it'd be easier to sell if they gave you those stipulations to make it feel like a more level playing field and a closer potential fight.
Right. I mean, well, I think they probably chose me. Maybe they think I am 37 now, so maybe they think I'm older and I'm not gonna be in shape and stuff. And they probably want just try to they won't try to catch me. You know, that's probably what they thinking. I mean, maybe I would think the same thing, but I just feel like it's not gonna go the way they expecting things to go. And as far as the 15 million, I mean, that's reported. I don't know if it's actually true, to be honest. Maybe it is. Maybe he's getting that. Maybe he's not. But I mean, at the end of the day, it ain't got nothing to do with me, you know. But for me, I know, like, my thing is, I know I can beat him. That's the main thing. I know, like, when I told my manager, go, like, don't worry about it. Like, don't worry about the weight. Don't worry about nothing. Like, let's secure the fight. Let's just do that, secure it, and we worry about all that other stuff later. But now we here. It's fight week.
And right after this, let me let Sean jump in. But the other bright headline that we gotta put down right away. I mean, you're doing some sightseeing in London. You look okay. Now I don't see your hands and feet. I don't see any casts
Nothing
for
going, bro.
bandages.
Nothing
You
going
didn't
on
pop
me,
no
bro.
medication before we started.
Brother, nothing going on with me, bro. For me, I don't even know where that came from, but I didn't really address it, nothing like that. Nothing going on with me at all. So I, maybe like people, like somebody out there is trying to stop the fight or whatever, and they saying things like that, but nothing going on with me. I'm good. I'm good to fight
Pure
for sure.
sabotage. Pure
Somebody,
speculation. No
somebody out
issues
there,
whatsoever.
I'm good. Radio, I am good. I'm good to fight. I am good to fight for sure. I'm good.
Who
No
was trying to
issues.
sabotage the fight, Regis? Who do you think?
I mean, I got thoughts. Yeah, I mean, y'all should know. I mean, it's people out there probably trying. I don't want to say names, but y'all should know. It's probably people out there trying to sabotage the fight that's not involved, and that's kind of. I feel like that's kind of what's going on with that stuff. I mean, one person we know that I saw on interview, Eddie. Eddie said that. Eddie was like, "Oh, he's injured. He's this." Like, why would Eddie go and say that? Like, why? What's the purpose? Why would you, like, why is he trying to do it? Because maybe Eddie has Eddie did promote both of us. And so he's not in this. So maybe that's why.
So you didn't wince landing a left hand in sparring, not nothing. Didn't twist the ankle one day and roll the ankle, nothing.
Nothing, bro.
Okay.
Nothing going on. Nothing going on with me. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know for me, I don't know where that came from. So, but that's why I really didn't address that. Like, I ain't got to say nothing. Like, for what? People's calling me saying, address this and talk this. I'm like, for what? Like, I'm not addressing nothing. Like, let people, honestly, bro, let people think what they want. Maybe Connor can think that, and maybe his approach might be different if he thinks I'm hurt or something like that. So that's fine. I feel like I don't have to address nothing because they not paying me extra for nothing. No promotion, no nothing. They not giving me no extra money for nothing. So why I gotta address anything? I don't have to do nothing. All I gotta do is go show up and fight, and that's it. That's the only thing I gotta do.
Well, you said multiple times, responding to radio, that you feel like you see something is what it sounded like. You know you can beat this guy. You said that a few times earlier already. What do you see in Conor Benn? Why do you think? What makes you so confident you could beat him? And are you more confident than you were heading into the Josh Taylors, the Jose Zepedas, the Devin Haney fights? Is it what do you see in him that makes you feel you could pull off what's going to be an upset?
I just feel like I'm a better fighter. I mean, I just see him as like I don't want to trash his name or nothing like that because I'm not getting paid for that. But I just feel like I'm a better fighter. I feel like Conor Benn is not better than Regis Prograis. If you look at our resumes, you look at our everything. Like, he's just not better. That's all. Like, you look at who he beat, who I beat, who it's just he's not a better fighter. That's all. And then at the same time, like, I feel like I will have just, I'm not gonna say advantage, but me coming up, it is making a big difference. Even right now, like fight week and stuff like this, making a big difference in me, my move, my attitude. I do feel better. I feel stronger. I can train way longer right now. So I just feel like yeah, and I just feel like for me, I feel like I'm the better fighter. Weight or no weight, no matter what's going on, I do feel like I'm better.
Yeah, you do look healthy. At 147, looks like you're not sucking as much weight out of your face and all that stuff. Make it 47. On his
Hmm.
side, though, he does look, thinner as to be expected, dropping back down 2 weight classes, which is not common in boxing for fighters to do that. Do you
Hmm.
think? Do you see him as looking kind of weak making the weight, looking drained making 147. What do you see from Conor Benn? Just looking at photos of him in camp getting down to 147 again for the first time in
I
years.
honestly, bro, I ain't even been looking at his picture or nothing like that. I see him for the first time tomorrow. We have like a face off tomorrow at the stadium, so I see him tomorrow. So I really see what he look like and stuff like that. But I mean, I can't really worry about it, man. Like I'm just not concerned about like him and how he looks and stuff. I mean, fight after when we fight, we gotta fight. That's how it gotta be. So, but I think a lot of people are saying like the weight might be like he might be bigger and stuff like that. But you gotta realize me and Conor is the same size. He's 5'8", I'm a 5'8", so we literally the same size. So if we the same size and I just feel like I'm a better fighter. That's all. A better fighter all around. My resume is deeper. It's better. I feel like my skills are better and the thing is, I know they called me because they're trying to catch me. They called me on 6-week notice, but I was already in the gym. They called me on 6-week notice for the fight, but I was already in the gym already. I was in Vegas when they called me. Luckily, I was in Vegas. Now, the thing is, just like you said, like when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So I was there training already. I had a fight. I think I was supposed to fight. They was telling me I was supposed to fight like Arnold Barboza, and that was March 14th. And so I went out there originally. I went out there a little earlier, but I went out there something like that for that. But I didn't get the call. I never got a contract or nothing like that. And then Kenny Sims got it. And we in the same gym. And so then and then after that, they said like Frank Martin, and it was like on a 2 or 3 weeks notice, and it wasn't for nothing. So I didn't want that anyway. And so then I just stayed in the gym. I kept training, stayed in the gym, and I felt like something was gonna happen. And that's exactly what happened. Like when you stay in the gym, things just happen for you. Things pop up. And somebody called me and said, "Man, what you think about the Conor Benn fight?" And the only concerns I had was the weight. That's all. I'm like, all right, what weights could be at? What about a rehydration clause? And but I'm fully confident like I can be Conor Benn.
Well, here's the big one for you, and then I'll let Raheem get back in it. There, you're 37 years old, same age as Keith Thurman was last week or two against Sebastian Fundora. I know
Mm-hmm.
Wilder and Chisora are about 3 to 5 years older than you are, but that's the big question I think for the boxing world heading into this fight for you is what does Regis Prograis have left? We did see you at 140 get hurt a number of times against Jojo Diaz, who's a former 130, 126, not considered a true super lightweight, and he
Mm-hmm.
was able to hurt you multiple times in that war. Do you feel like are you at the stage that Keith was at a week or two ago, or even close to the stage Wilder and Chisora is at? How much does Regis Prograis have left in the tank for this fight with Conor Benn?
Man, I feel like I got a lot left. To be honest, I do feel like I'm not Keith Thurman. First off, with JoJo fight, like I feel like I really should have went up in weight a long time ago. Really, because the weight does play a big difference. It does play a big role in you. So that's why right now I feel way more confident. I feel like I got stronger. And like for me, yeah, I might be 37 in age, but I don't do nothing. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs and stuff like that. So I live clean for the most part. And I mean, I've been training the whole time. I've been feeling good. So, like I said, with that, I think y'all will have to see. I won't have to see because I already know what I can do. But y'all have to see what's going on.
The conversation around what you have left is one that analysts are certainly having, but I'm going to take it back to Eddie because, to his credit, I guess you have to say at least he's put his name to it, and he hasn't minced words. He's said not only that you are injured, but everybody knows is a quote. And you have mentioned that obviously you've been promoted by Eddie, Conor's been promoted by Eddie. He's not involved in this fight, and there's been a lot of talk around loyalty and who deserves what from a promoter and from a fighter. What was your relationship like with Eddie, and why would you think, if what he's saying is not true, that he would try to diminish the fight, or you specifically in the fight?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we only had a working relationship. I was with Eddie for 1 year. That's all. It was only a business thing. We not like friends. I'm pretty sure him and Connor were definitely way closer. They was, way better and stuff like that. But for me, I don't even know why Eddie would say stuff. Maybe, like I said, maybe to discredit things. Maybe that's probably what's going on. They want to discredit they want to discredit the fight. They want to take away from things. And like I said, I think that, since Connor supposedly is getting a 15 million, then they saying it's not a fight for him that's worth 15 million. So that's why he trying to discredit something. I guess he can't discredit Conor, so he's gonna try to discredit me and try to discredit the fight. So maybe that's what's going on.
Do you feel like you're getting a wage that is commiserate with what you normally earn in boxing? Are you getting more or less? There's a lot of conversation around what's going to be paid by Zuffa, what the standards are going to be.
Not for me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It ain't gonna what I'm getting ain't gonna change nothing about my lifestyle. Nothing at all. Nope.
So I
I'm
got
not
to
getting
pull this.
15 million for the show. I'm not getting 15 million. Not even getting close to that. Put it like that.
Are, are you getting close to what you would expect from a fight promotion normally? Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you getting at least?
I don't want to say what I'm getting. How about that, radio? I ain't gonna say what I'm getting, but I ain't getting. I ain't getting what Conor. If Conor is getting 15 million, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting close to that. How about that? Let's just say
Okay, all right. Last one on this. Like,
that.
as a fighter, not on your pay, but as a fighter, I know you've seen this back and forth between Conor and Eddie. You're something of a victim of it to some degree. Certainly, if Eddie is not telling the truth, who do you think is at fault here? Is Conor just doing what boxers should do, taking the bag wherever and telling the promoter to pound sand, or do you think because of what Eddie and Matchroom say they have done and some things that we know they have done that
Mm.
the fighter and Conor owes them some more loyalty and consideration?
Um, I mean, you can look at it two ways, man. Like for me as a fighter, you do want the most money. You want to make the most money you can get, obviously. So if somebody's giving you 50, if it's reported he's getting $15 million, if he's getting that, how can you turn that down? If Eddie's not willing to pay that, it's no way. How can you turn it down? It's like you have to take it. Now, on the other hand, you can say like what the Eddie did. Supposedly, he took care of Conor. He gave money. He did a lot of things for Conor. He stuck with him through all this stuff, the lawsuits and whatever he had going on with with popping dirty. Eddie did stay with him and probably covered a lot of stuff up. So if you look at it like that, you can look at it like, all right, he wasn't loyal either. So it's two for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's two way. I don't know. I don't know.
What'd you say
Yeah.
again, Regis? Because you cut out for a
I'm
second.
sorry.
You
Yeah,
don't
the
know which
phone.
way.
I'm sorry, but Ryan. Yeah, I said that. My bad. I was saying that like you could look at it two ways. I mean, you could look at it where, as a fighter, you want to get the most money you can. You do. I mean, because look, like as a fighter, we're looked at as cattle. And I know this. I know this about us. Like, if it's not you, it's somebody else. They already was trying to tell me somebody else was trying to like they thought I was hurt, and it was people was telling me, all right, we already got a replacement for you anyway. They was telling me that, oh, we got somebody, we got some. So we really are. We looked at it as cattle anyway. All the fighters, that's what they looked at. They looked at it as cattle. And so why not just make as much money as you can? Because you gotta realize, like, when I'm retired, when Conor retired, Eddie can still do what he's doing. So as an athlete, you do, and especially as a fighter, you have a short time frame. Um but at the same time, Eddie was with Connor for a long time, and maybe he gave him, he did give him money and stuff like that, and Eddie did stick beside Connor for a long time, even though Connor, went through all the stuff with the, whatever he whatever he popped for, Eddie stuck by his side. So it's a few ways you can look at that. But me, I am about the fighter. Like get as much money as you can, make as much money as you can, and that's what you should do.
One thing Conor Benn, I think when he's fighting well, the best thing about his game is his explosiveness. It's not like he's the most crafty technician or something like that, but he does generate some good speed, some good power. He's a good athlete. And with his youth and what looks like at this stage of the careers, he's got an edge in that quick twitch and that explosiveness. Without, I know you can't get too deep into your game plan, but how does Regis Prograis counteract that in this fight?
I just feel like it's not gonna bother me. How about that? You just say that. I feel like that's not gonna bother me. Like that's the main thing. I know he's athletic and he might be strong and he might not be strong. Nobody knows. I won't know until I get in the ring with him. But I just feel like none of that stuff isn't gonna bother me. None of his athleticism and stuff. I'm athletic too, and I just feel like I'm a. The main thing is like why I definitely took this fight. Is I feel like I'm a better fighter all around. I feel like I am a better fighter. We can say age, we can say whatever weight, but I just feel like I'm better. No matter what, I feel like I'm better.
Do you, as a fighter, look at him funny or with it, like a raised eyebrow or any contempt because of his past of popping for something? Uh, yeah,
Of course, he's a known cheater. Of course, I do. I mean, listen, if somebody is a known cheater, like he was out of the ring for 2 years because of that, right? Am I right or wrong? I think right. He was out for 2 years or something like he had to go fight in Florida or something like that because he couldn't even fight in his own country. So yeah, you definitely, of course, I look at those things, and he, if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't had a knockout since 2022, and that's when most likely, I mean, that's when before he popped for the stuff. So, uh, yeah, that's what I do see it as that. I think he is a known cheater.
yeah. You're someone who's never had those suspicions about you. You take pride in that.
Never, never. Of course, I do. I take pride in it because I look at boxing, man. Boxing is it's a very dangerous sport to where you can really people die in boxing. You look what his dad did to the Jared McClellan, whatever.
Joe
Like
McClellan, G-Man.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly, the G man, right?
Mhm.
So it's some serious stuff could happen in boxing. So it's like, man, when you taking some stuff and you can really hurt somebody, that's serious. I don't like that stuff. I don't take that. I do. I don't like how it is, and yeah, I don't support it.
Well, you've been general about it this whole time. I'm just a better fighter than him. But what gets the job done, man? How do you see it playing out? Do you surprise them with that power and that big left hand you've had throughout your career? Is it the experience? Do you got something new up your sleeve? What's gonna get the
I def
job
for
done?
me,
Yeah,
for me, bro, I feel like I definitely got new stuff up my sleeve. I've been like, man, I've been training, I've been working, I've been getting better. I made a sacrifice to move to Vegas, staying away from my family, my kids, and I've been doing that. And I feel like, man, I just been getting better, way more. And of course, I got more experience. Like I went out there, I sparred with Sean Porter. I've been sparring with him, and just getting some real good work, getting good experience. And yeah, I mean, the left hand or whatever. If that happen, it happen. If it don't, it don't. But I just feel like I'm just for the most part. I do feel like I keep saying it, man. I feel like I'm a better fighter,
well, I
and people could
remember.
put things.
I
Go
remember
ahead.
even after the Haney fight, you had your head up and you said, "I'm gonna get back to the lab and I'm gonna get better." But they say you can't teach old dog new tricks, Regis. So you gonna show that's not the case Saturday?
That's my plan for sure. That's my plan to go out there and yeah, just listen, bro. I know I got a bunch of skills. For me, it's in my head. I gotta just execute them. That's the main thing. I do things in the gym and like my people be like, man, like they surprised by the things they see me doing. But I just have to for me, I just have to go out and execute. That's all. Stay disciplined because I became a champion just by fighting. I became a two-time champion just by knowing how to fight instead of boxing. And that for me, that's why I gotta get, I need to, that's what I have to do. Just be more calm. That's the main thing. No, don't have to be so frantic.
You're a two-time champion at 37. Like you say, you've never been even under the suspicion of any kind of performance-enhancing drugs. You got a fight call. I won't say late, but I mean right at the 11th hour, if you will, as short amount of time as you could to put together a camp. You were already in shape and prepared in the gym to start. So that lets me know that you take care of your body and you live the life of a fighter. 37 ain't ancient, but you're on the cusp now of what people consider to be old. Uh,
In
do
boxing,
you
not in
feel
life, brother. In
in
boxing.
boxing?
I know,
In
I know, I
boxing,
know.
yes.
Right, right. I know.
But do you feel like this is the beginning of what could be the next, if not last, chapter of your career? Because you have such a big stage. If you get the win the way you intend to, it is going to be considered a pretty big upset. You're going to be on Netflix of all places. This really could be, ironically, after being a two-time world champion, the first real star quality that the world sees from Regis Prograis.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a start of a next chapter. The next chapter for me is most likely 147. Obviously, most likely that'll be 147 the next chapter. So yeah, this is just a for me. This is just the start of the next chapter. That's all.
So if you win this fight, let's take that as the premise. Then where do you go from this fight to this second chapter of your career to make it what maybe you were denied initially? Like, I mean, you'll be in such a good position. What I'm saying is you're probably in a better position if you win this fight Saturday than you've ever been in your whole career, champion or not.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think that it's hard to answer where would I go. I mean, I feel like I could just go anywhere I want to. Really, after this, I can do whatever I want, basically, because I will be the name. I will be the draw. Just after this, do whatever I feel like doing. That's what I'll do after this. That's all. Like I can fight whoever I can call out whoever I want to call out. I can fight whoever I want to fight. After this, I can demand what I want to.
Well, you've lived some experience, so you know what it's like to be a champion. You know what it's like to have critics now saying you're washed or you're done or this is going to be a walkover for Conor. At
Hmm.
the next opportunity, if you can do what you want, do your priorities still lie in being world champion? Do you want to be undisputed before you retire, or is it just like you said earlier, just about getting the biggest bag and getting out, with the most profit you can?
I mean, belts and money. That's it. Belts and money. Like if it's something, if it's some big opportunity, then you can't pass it up. But yeah, for me, it'll be belts and money.
In
Maybe
that
after this, I
order?
get huh?
In
In
that
that
order,
order,
belts and money, or money then belts?
money then belts. Money then belts. How about that? Money then belts. So, but yeah, I mean, after this, you just never know. You never know what they gonna have on the table for me. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be on there. So yeah, I just after this, I kind of don't want to look past it, because I do that a lot, man. I'm very sometimes very arrogant, and yeah, I am. I'm just very arrogant. I think I can just walk over anybody, and that kind of yeah, it didn't do me justice in the past. So right now, it's like let me focus on Connor, and then I'll see what's up after that.
Well, while this is not a Zuffa show, obviously Conor Ben's made the noise by being signed as a Zuffa fighter. And there's so much conversation around whether or not Zuffa is good for the sport, whether or not their model is something that fighters should participate in. You're an American.
Mhm.
You fought under the Muhammad Ali Act. Like I say, you've had the experience. What do you make of at least the proclamations that Zuffa are putting forward as to the way they want to conduct business in boxing?
Man, I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to comment on the Zuffa thing. I mean, it's good that they throwing money like that. If it is true they throwing money like that at Connor, that's definitely a good thing. I've been to some shows in Vegas before. I kind of like the setup. I like going out there. I liked it, and that was it was cool to go see that type of stuff. So I mean, we'll see. I don't want to say nothing bad or nothing good about it because I'm still in the old fashioned boxing business. So I just yeah, it seemed right now it does seem like a cool little everything is cool.
Regis, before you get out of here, man, just want to pick your brain real quick about a couple fights going on. First, with Devin, the ROLLY fight falling through. On the business side, him being a promoter with Bill, you got experience with them, and they're not feeling what's proposed their way from PBC. Devin's talking about they wanted me to. There need to be $6 million allocated, and before I even get to see the profit, sounds like he's not getting a guarantee from their side. They're telling him, well, you're your own promoter, so you find a way to guarantee your own purse and all that. Take a
Hmm.
percentage. I remember Crawford not going for that with Spence, and then eventually second round of negotiations, he did get a guarantee plus his percentage, whatever, all that business stuff. What'd you think of his fight falling through with Rolly Romero? Do you think he was on his way to winning that fight if it got done? And do you think he was smart to for now walk away from the table?
I mean, just having experience with them, man, with Bill and Devin. Bill is clever. I'm not gonna lie, Bill is a very clever person.
Mm-hmm.
He's everything he does he's gonna do it for a reason. So maybe it was a smart thing. But honestly, I do feel like if Devin fought Rolly, Devin will win. I do feel like that. Maybe even stop Rolly. I think Devin will probably get a stoppage in the long time he fought him. The I think stylistically wise, that is just it'll be made for him. It'll be made for Devin. So nah, I feel like that he definitely will beat Rolly. But yeah, if the business side not right, then I guess they gotta move on and do something else.
So as part of what you're saying, Regis, you trust Bill's judgment on a matter like that.
I would. thinks. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Bill, he's savvy, bro. He is. I've been around him and stuff like that. Bill is savvy. Bill know what he's doing when it comes to that type of stuff. Usually, he does make good business decisions. So in this instance, it might be something else out there bigger for Devin. So I mean, Rolly might be a big fight, but it might be something else out there bigger. Obviously, everybody wants to see him and Ryan anyway. So that might be something way bigger.
Do you think that's where we're headed towards in the second half of the year, him and Ryan in a rematch? And based on what you saw, Devin, how he looked against Brian Norman, do you think he beats Ryan in a rematch, or does Ryan got his number?
I think Ryan might have his number, bro. I mean, after that, like no matter if he was on whatever he was on, I don't know. We never know with that type of stuff. But I think that Ryan might have his number. But Devin did look good in that. But Devin will have to erase that out of his mind. He have to erase the whole thing out of his mind. And maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't. Hey, I don't know. But I think that it'll for me. It's a good fight for boxing. It's a good fight that everybody will want to see, anyways.
Stylistically, even because Devin did a lot of people between the Ostarine stuff, between Devin coming forward a lot in that fight. Maybe it's something Ryan has in his skill set and his speed that makes Devin have to do that when he doesn't. But that was their game plan, it seemed like, from jump. Now at 147, he's more filled out. Looks like he's cracking better, like when he dropped Ryan Norman. And you would
Mm-hmm.
think he would have a different game plan for Ryan. But all that considered, what is it that you see in the two fighters that makes you feel like Ryan might just still have his number?
Just because of mental edge. I think the mental edge. That's all. I mean, it- like maybe if it was a different fighter and it wasn't Ryan Garcia, maybe it won't. I think Devin does have better skills, but sometimes the mental thing it just kind of gets to you. Somebody just might get to you mentally. That's all. He did just basically beat Devin up in that fight. Like I said, no matter what the eye stream stuff or not. So I just think that, and then Ryan is actually not a bad fighter. Ryan is a good fighter. That's the thing. He did look good against Barrios. His last fight, he looked real good against Barrios. So um yeah, I think for me, like I said, I just think it's a real good fight. It's a fight that I think the world will want to see. So if they did pass up the ROLLY fight, I mean, it's probably for a reason. Like, why not get the Ryan fight if you can?
And Devin has over. Sorry, radio. Because the mental edge part of it, what does make me think about it though is Devin. He has come back from the abyss though. He after how he looked shaky against Ramirez, the punishment he took against Ryan, for him to come back and do what he did against Brian Norman in a fight, a lot of people, I mean me included, thought Norman was gonna probably win that fight. Does that make you think though? Yeah, he could overcome that mental edge you're talking about with Ryan.
I think he could. No, I think he could. Honestly, I really do think. I think Devin could, but if he is, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know because they did fight a lot of times. They fought 6 times in the amateurs, and then they just fought one time in the pros. And we saw what happened. Now, of course, Devin will have to get that out of his head. But maybe like he did look good against Brian Norman. I know you picked Brian Norman. I definitely picked Devin to win that fight, and he looked better than what we thought. So, I think Devin could. If anything happens, he could get out there. He could get out his head. But like I said, we just have to see what happens and go from there.
One more fight I want to pick your brain on, and that fight is being announced in the press conference officially come this Wednesday. Xander and Boots. We've taken some incoming on this show about
Mm.
saying whether or not it's time for Xander, whether or not that's a wise business decision, not whether or not he should want the fight, but if Top Rank should put their champion in that position, blah, 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 blah. What do you
Mhm.
make of that matchup? Is it a good time for that matchup for Xander? And of course, who you got winning?
Maybe not a good time for Xander. I mean, Boots is good, man. I think Boots is a very, very good fighter. Um, you know, uh, Long, slick, got power. Seemed like he got a chin. So Xander, I don't know. Maybe he need to get a little more experience first. But if they make it, then hey, they making it. You can't do nothing about it. But for me, I would think I would definitely go with Boots.
Now, being that I'm in the UK and I got to do a little bit of housekeeping because this is how legalities work here. So we talked about Conor Benn, we talked about the suspension, but in addition to that, we must say that he was cleared. Now, there was never any explanation as to exactly what it was that cleared him. They still haven't
Mm-hmm.
given us any like TikTok as to that. But I'll just give you an opportunity to respond, being that he was cleared ultimately after all this legal back and forth and sitting out. Do you accept at all that there was a criteria for him to be cleared by? Do you think that should be taken into consideration when you say he's a known drug cheat?
Listen, if they say he cleared, then he cleared. I guess if they say he's cleared, I guess that means he's cleared. That's all of me. I can't say he is. If he's whatever's going on with him, if the people say he cleared, then I guess that he's cleared. Then I don't know. I don't know what people. I don't even know the whatever the procedures or whatever they got to say the people are clear. But if they say he cleared, then I guess he cleared. I mean, the fight is happening here, so that means something going on. Something he's doing the right way, I guess.
What do you think about the condition of monitoring drug use in boxing? Sean and I have said on multiple occasions that we think it's just a matter of people getting caught. Like, not everybody, but so many people are guilty of this, and so many people are gaming the system that really the policing of it is broken. You being a fighter who is clearly in the line of fire and subject to potentially facing somebody who's dirty on any given night that you step through those ropes. What do you think about the system that's in place, and do you feel protected by the way boxing is policed right now when it comes to PEDs?
I don't feel honestly. I don't feel protected by it because so many people get caught. Man, look, my coach told me a long time ago. He said, "Man, everybody cheating." I never could believe it. Like he said, all the legends I love, all the people I look up to. He's like, "Man, all of them are cheating," and it's hard for me to wanna even believe that because I never took nothing in my life. So it's hard. It's hard for me to even accept that. But he said, "Man, look, most of them are cheating." I'm like, "Damn, really?" Like that's sad to even hear that. So I like, what do we do about it? Like because yeah, people getting caught left and right. People keep getting popped left and right, left and right, left and right, and it's sad that type of stuff happens. So I think, what is the answer? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the answer is, um, but with that is like you can die in the ring, and like people should really see that. I mean, but I think that a lot of people might, excuse me, they might don't care about it because they probably thinking the other person doing it too, because yeah, man, it's just I don't know. It's just a sad thing to like. I just don't like it. Like for me, I told you like I'm a historian of boxing. I love boxing. Like I always looked up to all these fighters and to think that most of them are even the legends, my idols. My coach was like, man, a long time ago, my coach was like, most of them are cheating. And if you look, man, a lot of people got caught for stuff. So many people, so many legends, they got caught for doing some stuff, cheating and stuff like that. So it's like I don't know. I just don't like it, man. It make me lose my faith in boxing. It's like because it's just so set up, and then you have promoters that promote these guys and they cover things up, And like I said, we really are like when you look at fighters, like we really are looked at as cattle because it's just somebody else go. Somebody you take you out, somebody else going right into it. And it's just sad that that's how it is, but that really is how the sport is. And the promoters, they don't look at nothing but the money. That's all. They don't look at the health of the fighters, they don't look at none of that stuff. They don't look at the money. So for me, man, I'm not gonna. I don't like it. It really not even gonna say I don't like it. It disgusts me that so many people cheat and so many people got caught cheating, and I just don't like it, man. I don't like it.
Well, we're gonna let you go. I see we're holding up your
Hold
sightseeing.
up
I
my
appreciate you
sightseeing
parting.
tour.
But let me say that everything you just said is so important to how we can look at you as a fighter, your career, your mindset. I was in New Orleans before the name Prograis was really ringing out in boxing to where people knew
Hmm.
who that was. I saw the dedication. I've also seen the effect that you've had on kids from your community and subsequently around the world as they've seen you fight. You've always held that standard. You're a good guy. I've seen you in the streets, being kind to people, always accessible. You came on
Hmm.
about that action in less than 24 hours notice on fight week. We really appreciate your time,
No
man,
problem, brother. No problem.
and your candor. You're a perfect guest for this show. Hey, man.
No problem,
It's
brother.
a pleasure to have you, bro.
All right, man. Thank y'all.
Always been a good dude. Thank you, Regis, for your time. Have a
All
good
right,
day,
man.
brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yep.
Yep.
Good
Wow.
luck Saturday night.
All right, man. Thank you.